Hello, 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 hello. My name is Persephone and I welcome you to my psyche, to my sacred space. I hope you find warmth and contentment here and now. And I thank you so much for tuning in to the frequency. It's a beautiful rainy afternoon and I was feeling in the element and I was like, hey, gotta make a Scorpio Rising video today, and here I am. Point number one, Scorpio Rising. We we don't really like people. Yeah, I think that'd be a good way to put it. We're the kind of folks that we need a purpose for social interaction. It needs to satisfy some passion or purpose or some kind of inner demand or seeking that we are looking to receive. Only in those only in those situations will a Scorpio rising placement actually want to, from their own heart, indulge in social gatherings type scenario, because we're the kind of people who would be like, hey, why can't we just hang out one-on-one, or why can't we just create some space where we can actually talk and just surpass the superficiality of human interaction. And I think the superficiality of the social interactions that we usually as human beings go through is so palpable to Scorpio risings that they just do not want to be a part of it. We just don't want to be a part of something that is going to drain us, that is going to demand from us to pretend to be something that we're not, which is most often the case in a social gathering type setup. For Scorpio rising placements, they will definitely be having some kind of a filter, a persona, that is kind of protecting them and letting them also at the same time enjoy and be a part of the crowd, if at all that they are in the crowd. So that is something to keep in mind if you are in relationship with a Scorpio rising person, or you yourself are a Scorpio rising, that getting time for ourselves away from people, away from superficial interactions, can really help a Scorpio rising placement. And it just kind of ripples into things like spending time alone, things like enjoying solitude, on a big level. Point number 2, Scorpio risings have a peculiar yet beautiful taste in music. You'll find that a lot of Scorpio risings will introduce you to music artists, to bands, to different genres of music itself that you would have probably never heard before, that you'd find yourself really liking or not liking, whichever the case may be. But you'll definitely find that they bring to the table a unique flavor of music taste, a unique repertoire of looking for music. For a Scorpio rising, it's always very true, as I've found for my own self, that music and mood, they go hand in hand. They go so intensely hand in hand. It's like I am feeling a certain kind of a way and the music has to match it. The music has to go along with my emotions, my feelings, whatever it is that I am going through or thinking about, that has to be there. So music and mood plays a very pertinent correlation for Scorpio risings. Number 3. Scorpio risings are collectors of any particular themes that they might be finding appealing to in their life. For example, you'll find a Scorpio rising hoarding volumes and volumes of things if they are attracted to something. An idea, a plan, a person, a music, a movie, anything that they fall in head over heels with, they will start to make a collection of sorts of it. I know for myself that any person or any music, any movie, any human that I find to be having some substance to them, having some kind of girth and value, I will go head over heels into it, and I would go like all in, trying to understand what they are, why they're coming from, where they're coming from. The intrigue is like an attire for Scorpio rising. They themselves cause so much intrigue, and they themselves are all the time intrigued. They are looking for that. Scorpio risings is a placement where you cannot really just like click with something until and unless you find like a common ground, or you find something that is so intriguing about it that you cannot help but start to obsess over it. And I think for me at this point in time in my spiritual journey, this kind of gives me a cue. So for example, if I find myself obsessing over an idea, starting off the obsession for me is like an information point. It's like, hey, like, yeah, there's something to this. There's something to this, and that's why I'm getting intrigued by it. Otherwise, it doesn't happen ever so often. I might be really looking at something about that thing, about that person, the music, the movie, the book, whatever it is that is causing these feelings of intrigue, and it perplexes us. Our intrigue perplexes us. Our intrigue carries us forward. Our intrigue is, like I said, a tire of Scorpio rising. If there is no intrigue about something, then it might as well just not be existing for us, which is more often than not the case. And so follow your intrigue. Follow what information you can receive from reflecting on the things that intrigue you, and you are sure to find out some pertinent, significant information about who you are as a person, what your desires are, what motivates you to do what you want to do. Point number 4. Scorpio risings have their 4th house in Aquarius, and 4th house is the house of our most innermost selves that are subconscious in nature, habits and patterns of behaviors and thoughts that we get from our ancestors, our parents, our bloodlines, from both our mother and our father. It's that house that when you look into it, you will find out information about where you come from, why you come from, where you come from, what are the information related to your genes and your bloodlines. 4th house in Aquarius, this is going to be eye-opening. Maybe for somebody. It definitely was for me in my experience, and this entire video is of course from the lens of my life and how I perceive things. So it might or might not resonate 100%, and that is okay. 4th house Aquarius for Scorpio risings, we just never really felt home inside of our home, and it's kind of like this idea that I attach to Scorpio risings is that Scorpio risings with 4th house Aquarius specifically is that they are from another world. They come from a cosmic background. We have in our bloodlines what they call as the DNA of a starseed. And it's when I came to know about it, I just wanted to know more and more and more, more and more and more about this particular observation. And the more I accepted my circumstances, my past, my history, where I've come from, the more I could assimilate within me this idea of like, it's okay to not feel at home within your own home. It is okay to have feelings of wanting to run away from your home all the time. This is intense because all my life, all my life I felt like I was an alien inside of my own house. 100% that was the feeling. And while growing up, I couldn't really understand why it is that I feel the way I do about my home. Why do I feel so alien? Why do I want to run away from my house all the time? Why do I feel like I am like the blackest sheep of my family? There's so much throttle in a Scorpio rising's life when it comes to self-expression. It's just so fucked up, and it's just so like regressed. It's regressed. Creativity, creative potential is like marred for a Scorpio rising. It's like you have to work through all of your issues, all of your internalized trauma in order to be able to produce something creative, in order to be able to express yourself. It's like going through and opening vortices of past portals and future portals, and going in, dispersing your energy into those portals, and then coming back to your present moment with information about who you are, where you come from, what you're doing, in order to make sense of your present, in order to make sense of why it is that you are the way you are. And sometimes it can be very alone. It can be very, very isolating. Very isolating. The journey is deeply isolating and deeply, deeply reflective, and very, very informative and completely transformative. True beauty of creation, truest form of creation and self-expression comes from our innermost beings when we deal with and heal our traumas. That is it for now. As always, feel free to share your thoughts, your feelings, any ideas that you have for me in the comments down below. I thank you all for tuning in.